Alright, welcome back. I'm about to lay down all of the foundation now for all the plans that I had made. Everything for the first grant is complete, or at least the plan for it, so let's do the foundation. So I just want to cover everything but this area with the foundation. And as you do this more often, you're going to learn what gets covered and what doesn't. For example, if you overlap on a pre-existing foundation and build upon that, it's going to eliminate that wall, but won't require a door because the wall will be gone. But if you just add to it from here, those walls will still exist, and you'll have to add an entrance. So I'm just going to let them build that and speed it up a little bit. The entrance that I know that I'm going to want is the large jail door right here. Something to keep in mind too when you're building jail doors is you're going to want to only put them where you absolutely need them, because if you start putting them for every door, there's going to have to be a security guard that comes and has to open it, so it could make your workers stand idle waiting for a guard to come over and open it. So I am, just for the in the meantime, going to put just a fence here. As I said before, that could allow for contraband to come in through the outside, but as of right now, that's not really what I'm concerned with. And for this, they're going to need a door, the workers will, in order to get back in if this foundation has already been built, but it hasn't been finalized. One thing I forgot to turn off when I did foundations is I like to turn auto lights off. I don't like where they automatically put the lights. I want to put them where I want. So since they try to put them before they put them up, because I'm going to just get rid of them. And yeah, some of them will be pretty much right exactly where I plan on putting them anyway, but for certain things I'd rather just lay them out myself. Alright, so now that we have our foundation laid out, I'm just going to go through and finish any of the walls. doors in so they can get in and out. I am going to put jail doors for the yard. A regular door there, and then a staff door into the kitchen. Also going to want a large jail door there. And I want the brick wall there. So as I said, with certain materials, you have the speed that they can walk at. So paving stone and then the metal floor, they have a walk speed of fast. So I'm going to just put paving stone here. I did actually, as I can see, went a little bit bigger than I wanted. I only wanted it to be even all the way around, so I actually might just extend that, but I want to make the inside all grass. And as my plans come through, I get rid of them just so they don't show up in the background. I am going to hire some more workers because they, especially in the beginning, are very important to make sure that everything just happens quicker. I missed a spot there. Alright. So now getting back to the task that we're being asked to do here. Thought I put a door there already, but maybe not. I didn't. Don't necessarily need a door there. Really just kind of slows things down, but I'm going to put one there anyway. And so this is going to be my holding cell. There's different ways you can see what is required for that particular room, but for example, if I go here, I can go to holding cell, and if you zoom in, well, for in this case, it just shows what types of rooms are on your list, so they're highlighted. Here's holding cell. I'm just going to call this whole thing my holding cell, and if you highlight over, it tells you what you've met. So room size is really important. When I get to other rooms, I make it the bare minimum that it requires just to save space. And so this one says I need a toilet and a bench. So another option I can do, if I go to objects, if I'm over a set room, it'll highlight the things that I could use in that room. And in this case, I just want a bench and a toilet. And because I'm getting rid of it, and I might end up having a holding cell later, I'll put a new one in some other time, but for now, I'm just putting it wherever, because I'm going to turn it into a reception very shortly. And then I have to come back over here and run my electrical cable so that the water is getting the power, and then I'm going to take a large pipe and not really plan it out, just kind of drag it out. Through the middle. Here is a good stopping point. And I'm not sure the exact numbers for how many things a large or small pipe can provide water to, but I usually just end up adding a few more large pipe sections, and then I end up getting water flow. But I also want to run my power all the way out. Then it just connects to proximity areas out here, but So for my small pipe, I know that I will need it for that, and then when I get all my shower heads, I'll need water for those as well. But now I'm gonna, since I deleted all the lights, I do want to come in and add them where I want them. Alright, that'll be good for now. Also, actually, I do want to add outdoor lights for the yard. I'm going to speed this up again. So this is telling me I don't have any canteens because I haven't set that up. It is going to say that prisoners can come into this holding cell, but they don't have anywhere to eat, or there's no food that's going to get brought to that holding cell yet. So while I wait for that, I'll just add all my shower heads. And I'm creating a prison that's ready for 24 prisoners, but I'm not necessarily going to take them all in at once. There's that. Now, all the drains, I forgot you can just click and drag until you screw up and go off to the side. But if you go in a straight line, you can just do that. And I'm going to add my benches, a couple of phones, a couple of TVs, and a radio. I'm not going to add the pool table though. Well, maybe I will. No, I don't like that. So, now I can call this my shower. I'm going to still have to run pipes to it, but there's that. This will be my yard, my kitchen, canteen. Nope, this is, sorry. There's my canteen. And here's my kitchen. I'm going to build the wall across there. Now it's slowly coming together. Kind of see what it's gonna be, and let's see. As you can see, I'm zooming in on the canteen, so it knows I need a table, a bench, a serving table, and that's all that's required. So I'm gonna put the tables in. Skip 2 for the benches. As I said before, you know, they're just going to walk right over it. It's not like you have to leave space for them to get around the tables, but it depends on how exactly you want it to look. I don't really care if they walk over someone else's food to get to the table. It's more about functionality. And but then again, when it comes to things like this, I want the items to be oriented in the right direction at least. Alright, so now let's go back to utility and kind of just bounce it around on whatever I just happen to see and want to work on. So we're going to run the small pipes there. And again, you don't want to use large pipe everywhere. One, it's more expensive. Two, it could be a potential tunnel later down the road. Alright, and then my power. These appliances need direct power, so you have to run it there. So it isn't one of the proximity items, but you might need just a little bit more to get the whole room lit up as well. And now I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to put some benches down. Yard, and then I'm going to do some phone booths over here. Do a couple TVs. I will put a pool table out here in nearly the center here. And the other option I missed over here in the shower, which I'll put in, is going to be the toilets, but I'm gonna put toilet here, and I'm gonna put a shower head over the toilet. And the reason why I put them in the corner was because I'm still not sure how the draining system works for how many drains you need around a certain area before it starts flooding, but I've just had so many problems with like when I'll put a toilet or a shower, actually just the shower, in the canteen area, it just ends up flooding. So I'm still experimenting with that. Now I want my weight benches there. Now I want a couple of toilets right by the TV. I'm not gonna put any showers in the canteen this time, so that should be good. It looks like I don't have, I'm not getting power up here, but it's just because my power might have shut off. I don't have the volume up, so I don't hear like some of the cues that you get when something happens, but so I might have missed that. It just cut out the power. And another thing you can note is you can control and right click over a task, I believe. How does that work? Yeah. Control left click. Okay, control left click to make it a higher priority. So when your power goes out, that's going to be, you want them to drop whatever it is they're doing and come over and bring power back. So by adding those capacitors, which usually you should add one right off the bat when you put your power station down. I didn't do it, but definitely the power station probably gives out the same amount of power as one capacitor. So if you don't put a capacitor down right away, you're gonna lose your power right away. So, but then we do that, and then I switch it back on. And now here's the power meter too. Obviously once it gets all the way up here, that's when you have a potential to lose power. Mine is nowhere near that right now. So I'm going to slow it back down because I haven't been doing anything or having them build, but I'm about to. So I'm going to get my small pipes there. Small pipe. Small pipe. And what else we got? Hire at least 2 guards, hire at least 2 cooks. Okay. We are ready for intake, I would say. So we have to just create the cells. So no, we're not ready for intake. I don't know what I was thinking. I just created all this other stuff, but not the cells themselves. So let me get ready for that. Alright, so I skipped ahead, did some planning for the cells. One thing I wasn't taking into account as well, it looks like I'm doing just fine though, is my budget. I've been so used to selling my prison and starting off with a large amount of money that money became no object, so I just built whatever I felt like. I'm still fine now, like I said, but it's something to keep in mind. You don't want to get too carried away before you're even ready to take prisoners in. So I have this set up for my 24 prisoners that can come in. I just got to build the foundation. As I mentioned earlier, where you start your foundation is going to make a difference on the walls that remain and the ones that get destroyed. So if I were to start here and go over, it would create the foundation, but it would get rid of anything on the starting point. So I don't want to have to deal with rebuilding that. So I'm actually going to build across here and build there. And I do want to get rid of that one, so I'll build there. So I actually may be coming up short on money. I didn't even think it was really going to be that serious, but that was quite a bit for that foundation in that area. So I'll let them build, and once they do, I'll start doing the rooms. Now, one of the cool features that we have here, and if you want to stay consistent, is that you can use a clone tool. You create one room, you can copy it, and then paste it in each different cell, and then you make one oriented in the other way, and then copy and paste it that way as well. And that's what I plan to do. I just don't think I'm going to be able to fill all 24 cells yet, which is fine. I do want to do minimum security, and it looks like there's only 3 that could come anyway, so let's just plan for that. And I will plan for that by switching my slider there. So now I'm only going to take in 3 minimum security. Alright. And so I plan on having these 2 separate jail door entrances, but I'm wanting this all to be one cell block, and that'll be important later for when I decide who eats where and who can live in these cells. So let me go to brick wall. Which, because I build this whole foundation area, this whole area will be open. But I guess that's okay. I'm just gonna get the basics that I need for a cell, which I know are a toilet, a bed. I think that's it. Toilet, bed, and a door. So let's see. I want my door to be there, my bed to be there, my toilet can be right by the bed, and then a light. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just inverted on the other side. There. There. And then jail door there. So I'll of course need water for those, so I'm going to build another cell there, but I will just plan for the piping. And so now I want to clone this here. It gives you other suggestions for things you might want to build that work pretty well, but I already know the design that I want. I just really use this to build what I want. So I right click, highlight the area I wanted to copy, and then I build it. So I am pushing it right to the edge. Don't have much money left. As soon as I take on some prisoners, I'll be able to make that money, some money back. And once I hire the guards and the cooks, I'll finish the grant. So let's just do that and see what it brings me up to. I'm gonna do 2 guards, and I don't have enough for 2 cooks. Didn't plan that one out. Alright, so I definitely want to turn my intake on. The other thing I forgot to copy was the room type, which you can do when you clone as well. It carries over that. But so now I have the cells there. And yeah, so I'm basically just playing the waiting game, waiting to see what I get back, or see who comes in. So I will just come back when when I get some money. Alright, so my prisoners are almost in. Guess you can say if I touch anything here, it's don't plan too far ahead. I was planning on all this, having these specialized showers for the prisoners to be ready for them, and added all these extra amenities for them, and didn't realize I am on a budget. Even with the grants, there's still not a lot of money to just throw it around and buy whatever you feel like buying. So it may put me a little behind on my game plan, because I'm not going to be able to spend any money now that I have nearly nothing. But just by getting a little bit more in order to finish that grant, now I'm up to 10,000. So I'm going to slow it back down. So we just got our prisoners in. Third one here is covered by the fog of war, so I can't see what he's doing. And that's one of the first things I really try to get rid of, to have, once we get to it, guard routes that will walk by the cells so I can actually see what they're doing. Lately, based off my strategy, I haven't had too many people try to tunnel out, but once they start doing that, it's really important to be able to see when you're in the sleep time and you see an empty cell that should be filled, so that you can be alerted that they could be possibly trying to tunnel. Alright, so my next step is to go through these now. I really do want to get my offices going so that I can get a warden at least. So I'm going to do one of those. So it needs to be 4x4. I'm just going to start it here. And this is where I'll put my office. I don't really have a really good strategy for it. I do like to just build all the offices in the same area. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build one I'm going to maintain the wall. I'm going to leave it there. And this is a tough one too, on whether or not I want to use a GL door or not. I almost only want to use a GL door just because I made a 2-tile hallway. You can put a staff door, but I'm going to put that. I'll put a staff door for the office itself. So one of the things I've heard about was that for your psychologist, you want your prisoners to be able to get in there. So you should plan accordingly for that, and maybe put your psychologist's office first so that they don't have to pass through all these other offices that they could get contraband from. But for now, I'm going to just, as I said before, not plan too far ahead. I'm going to just put my warden's office right here. Although it does say I need 2 offices in order to finish the grant, so maybe I'll just plan for that right now. So now do another 4x4. And my walls. Which I should have done with the first time. Creates a little bit more work if you don't plan a little bit ahead. So now that whole wall is going to be reserved or preserved, and let's do materials, and I'm going to demolish that wall. I'm going to build one there. Alright, so for the office, as I said, if you zoom in, as you can see, it shows that the office is my next suggested room, so I'll call it that, and then because I did that, if I go to Objects, it tells me what I need. An office desk, a filing cabinet, and a chair. I'll put my light there, a light there, and a light there, and a light there. On my office desk. Have it there, and my chair here. And as I said, having the jail doors now requires the guard to come over. And now that I only have 2 of them, that can really lengthen your building process, because it takes them so long to wait for a guard to come over. Here they wait for a guard to come in, to get in that door, to get in that door, and then get in that door. So if you're anxiously waiting for them to bring or finish a room, it can be kind of irritating waiting for the guard to come over, but down the road it's really not that noticeable, at least from what I've seen. So we're still waiting on them to bring the chair and the filing cabinet, which I didn't even build, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I'll put it right there. And I'll speed it up a little bit. One other thing I've done in the past is create a staff door over here, which I will do for now at least. And so this staff door will allow food to be brought into the kitchen without going through all those jail doors that I just mentioned. tool as well to copy this office. As soon as this filing cabinet comes in, I can hire my warden. I'll get bureaucracy, which allows other unlocks. So I'll go to my staff, hire my warden, put him in his office. And now I have bureaucracy. So the next step, it says, is to unlock finance. So $500 and 6 hours later, I'll have finance and be able to hire the accountant that'll go in this office. Alright, so it's just finishing up the finance. Finish that. I can now hire the accountant, who will go into her new office. And now I've finished both those first two grants. What I want to do now is to just add some more prisoners. I have now 23 available, with some money to build the cells too. So I'm just going to clone those at 530 apiece. I'm still not going to be able to build all of them. But we can at least be at half capacity. As you can see, it carried over the room type as well. So pretty much the only thing it won't copy is my utilities. I just have to run those through. The electrical cable I already ran through. So now I should go up to a prisoner capacity of 12. And as of right now, I haven't done anything with the regime. I left everything the same for now. Pretty soon I'll get into that. And as far as grants go, the next one, some of them are pretty easy. Cell lock A. As soon as I get up to the 15, so I make a few more cells, I'll be able to get that one. And there's a couple more that I'll get into in the next episode. As for right now, I might just end it here. Plan on getting, it's going to be 6 more prisoners, you know. Waiting on that for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Not really sure why that's not going through. Let's see. What would cause that to not? It copied the cell, but none of the items. Maybe I'm waiting on a delivery. Might be waiting on getting the actual product for it in the morning. So, this ended there, and we'll continue next time.